Hello and welcome back to Eagle Rising. Here we have Mr. Archon Crotor. Yes, first name Archon, second name Crotor. I know some of you are probably going to think that I really think that that is his first name, and I will allow you to think that. But for those of you that know me better, oh yes, you share the joke. Indeed. Okay, so this is a bit of a problem here. I am currently engaged in a battle for Rote. I actually thought to myself, okay, I'm going to head to Rote right now because I thought to myself, yes, this garrison is looking real good. There's only 360 here. Actually, amusingly enough, there were only 290 or so here before I started the siege. And then obviously someone snuck in or something like that just before I began besieging it. But anyway, these guys are now attempting to attack me, and they outnumber us by a pretty significant margin. So I am in a bit of a bad situation. So let's see if we can do this. I really actually don't know whether we'll be successful. I have changed things around a little bit, by the way. I have a shield now. Yes, I have a shield now because obviously a couple of people mentioned in the previous episode's comment section that I have not really been using a huge amount of my bolts, and that's true. That is actually very, very true. I haven't been using all my bolts at all, and that makes more sense to equip a shield than to just continue running around without one and then not using any of my bolts. What do you bet I'm going to use all my bolts in this particular battle? That would be really, really funny, wouldn't it? Anyway, the point is, that's why I've decided, hey, let's just change it around a little bit, eh? Let's change it around a little bit and see what I can do here. I'm gonna... there aren't any real mountainous or hilly areas over here, so this is going to be slightly problematic. I might have to go into a shield wall formation again. Hello there, sir. What are you doing? Oh, getting shot in the arm by the looks of things. That was I gotta say, I feel like that was actually a pretty amazing shot by me right there. I know I don't usually pat myself on the back genuinely or honestly most of the time because, well, most of the time I'm dying. But that shot was actually quite good, I feel. It didn't feel like luck to me that time around. you know, I mentioned that time around for a very specific reason. Anyway, I'm going into shield wall right here. Let's see if we can move my forces a little bit ahead. I'm actually going to tell my cavalry to charge in now as well, and let me see if I can do some damage to these spear-wielding guys. Yeah, like that's going to happen. I will try to do some damage to some of the others. Oh, he got knocked off his mount. That was really nice. Nice. Okay, come on, come on. A little bit more damage. And I'm going to tell my infantry to charge in now. And hopefully this is going to result in some pretty nice damage. Yes, look at that. I'm doing some pretty good damage, even with a Gladius on a horse. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. And yeah, we're getting some good damage out of it too. And yeah, it seems like luring the opponent in and then using a charge order seems to be really, really effective. I don't know whether that's just me, but it feels like that anyway. And maybe I don't know, maybe it's just as effective for other people as well, but generally you've got to bear in mind that I do have some very high tier units at the moment. My units are, well, I'm gonna say they're better than average for the most part. I do have a number of very low tier troops though, because obviously I've been running around attempting to recruit as many people as possible, because of course that's what you gotta do to maintain an army, you know, you have to continue recruiting people. But the point is, generally I think that strategy is quite nice, because basically how it works is you draw the enemy in, and then as soon as they're kind of committed, you then charge, and then you overwhelm them with your strength, and that's kind of how it goes, I guess. I mean, you could see with your very own eyes that that's exactly what's going on there. But obviously, in some cases, maybe you can also hear it, because the screams of our enemies running for the hills is a sound to be heard from far, far away. I'm sure they're hearing this all the way in the Northern Imperium as well, and they are quaking in their boots. Or at least I hope they are. And yeah, I'm going to actually tell my archers to charge in now as well, so that they can potentially catch up. And I'm not dying in this one either. Can you believe it? Oh, that was a lovely shot. Did you see that? That was an absolutely lovely shot. You know why that was a lovely shot? Because it went right past two enemies in between them. And I can only assume that there were mere inches / centimeters in between the two. That was very skillful of me to miss them in such a graceful manner. Yes, indeed. Anyway, we do have a number of companions that have leveled up as well, which is actually quite nice, because that means that, of course, they are going to hopefully have more ability to kill things and do damage. And if they are not a damaging character, then, of course, they're just going to be really, really good at engineering or medicine or anything like that. And that actually brings me to the next point that I'd like to talk about. Someone mentioned that maybe what I should do in one of the upcoming series is literally make it so that I have to rely on companions for a certain amount of skills, because obviously, I mean, I don't know whether you can tell this, but generally I like to make my character, in Bannerlord especially, I like to make him into kind of like a master of everything, basically. And that obviously, you know, without mods and everything, that's not really going to happen. So if I were to play without mods, it would be very difficult to level anything up past a certain point, unless you heavily specialize in that. And even then, the experience gain is going to be very, very slow, because that's the way that the developers want it to be. They want it to be a journey. They want it to be a relatively difficult way of life, I guess you could say. But what I'm trying to mention here is the fact that in those cases where you are playing on native without any experience gain boosts or without any changes to how the attribute point system works or focus point system, you're going to need companions. And these companions are, of course, going to be able to use various other skills that you will hopefully be able to concentrate on. But as I mentioned in the past, I'm not going to go into it in way too much detail like I usually do, but generally, companions in Bannerlord are very different than companions in Warband, where they can actually die. And we've had one death so far in this series, and you may think, oh, well, that's not too many, but here's the thing. What about if your medic dies? If your medic dies, you're basically done, unless you have like a backup or something like that. I mean, you're obviously not done, as in it's game over, but it's going to be a very hard slog to level up another one, if you know what I mean. So, you know, dedicating a huge amount of time to getting more and more people leveled up in the skills that you need is going to be a very painstaking process, especially if you take into account the standard gains that you're going to get from experience and focus points and so on. So that is kind of the reason why it's a little bit iffy. It's a little bit iffy whether, you know, whether it's actually going to be useful or not to be able to do that. Because, as I say, I mean, it is putting a lot of, I mean, maybe it's actually kind of good, because then it puts a lot of, should we say, weight on these companions. And it's basically saying, hey, this companion is really, really important. If he or she dies, boom, then there's a problem, you know? That's kind of interesting. Wait a minute. Was I literally using these sling bullets with my crossbow just now? I think I might have actually been using the sling bullets. I should really lock this. There we go. That's a little bit better at least. Okay, so we've taken all the loot at least, and we are now going to be continuing this. Should I continue the siege? I really do want to continue the siege, but I'm at the same time a little bit worried that we're going to be attacked by a number of other vassals in the area. You know what? I'm literally just going to go in here, see if we can achieve victory. It's going to be a very difficult siege because we are indeed injured, and a number of my units are also pretty heavily injured. So we are going to have some pretty big issues here, possibly. I'm not sure what the siege layout is like. If the siege... Actually, it might work. It might work. Okay, let's see what we can do here. And I'm so incredibly injured myself. This is... oh, this is really harsh. Okay, yeah, this is really, really harsh. Let me see. Where are the ladders? I don't know where the ladders are. I have a shield now, though, you see. I have a shield now. And there are the ladders. Oh, no, they have... oh, they have catapults. That's going to make things very, very painful. Okay, I'm going to go up the right side because, as we've seen in the past... going up the left is really, really bad, and I tend to get murdered there, so let me see if I can go here and have better success. It seems like I am, yes, not too bad. We're already on the battlements. Yes, you will not stop me, sir. I will slaughter you and your baker. Yes, indeed. They value their bread. Can you tell? I mean, look at their tunics. The fact that they're wearing their tunics means that they enjoy bread. Indeed. Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, take that guy out, and... yes, there we are. I'm basically just trying to attack the siege emplacements right now because I really do want to try and prevent as many casualties as possible from, well, just generally getting easy kills. These guys are literally getting so easy kills whenever our people are coming in. And look at this. I'm now baiting a couple of others in getting over here. They must have received a report from the lookout or whatever that they are now making their way over here to try and replace the people that I slaughtered. Which is great for me, because here's the thing about Bannerlord AI, and indeed Warband AI as well. It seems to be a shared problem. Whenever the AI has something that they very badly need to do or want to do or have been commanded to do, they will ignore everything else to accomplish it. I don't know whether you've noticed that, but in Warband this was especially prevalent, or should we say especially prominent, in their behavior, as they would literally just stand there while you slaughtered them from behind, basically. So sometimes that would obviously be completely fine if you were playing a mod like I don't know, like Prophecy of Pendor or something like that. You know, if you're playing Pendor and it's hard, you know, it's a difficult mod to achieve victory in. But if you're playing something like that, and you can take advantage of the AI in some way to achieve more victory, or achieve, you know, something really, really difficult, like, you know, besieging something that has, I don't know, 800, 900 very highly powered units in, well, then you're going to take every opportunity that you can get to give yourself an advantage, right? However, in this case, it's a little bit weird, because obviously the Bannerlord AI is walking over to the catapult, and they're not even bothering to defend themselves. Look at this. This guy doesn't have his shield up. Boom, look at that. Easy kill. Easy free kill. Obviously, I'm drawing attention to this right now, not because I want it to be fixed or anything, because I actually think it's quite charming for the AI to be a little bit silly sometimes, you know, because, let's face it, that's kind of the spirit of Mount and Blade, you know, Spirit of Mount and Blade, where the AI is a little bit weird sometimes, and it's kind of amusing with its decision-making and so on and so forth, but yeah, if it does get changed, then that's just better for people that very, very dislike the whole way that the AI works in this game. Personally, I actually don't mind it. I think that, as I say, it does add a certain charm to the game and adds a little bit of uniqueness to it, because if these guys were literally the, I don't know, the biggest fighting machines in the history of the world, it would be extremely frustrating, wouldn't it? I mean, literally, if these guys were to come out of here, be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna try and see if I can get on the catapults and, you know, kill anyone along the way, you know, and if they were to be like that and defend themselves in such a significant, very, very, shall we say, proficient manner, then it would eventually turn out that every single unit that you come across would be an absolute just machine when it comes to, you know, fighting, and it would be very difficult to actually accomplish anything in that siege. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, maybe if that, or shall we say, maybe if the AI is improved in some way, or I don't know how you can call it improvement, if the AI blocks every single one of your attacks. You know what I mean? That's kind of also a reason why I think, I know a lot of you have actually had good experiences with the realistic combat module, or should we say realistic AI module. I actually can't remember what it's called now. I know a bunch of you have mentioned it, and I do know the name of it, and I know which mod you're speaking of. But basically it makes the AI a lot better. And I was actually thinking of installing that for this, because I thought to myself, well, what kind of differences is it actually going to provide? Because if it provides a difference in the way that I'm talking about, where it's frustrating to fight them rather than merely a challenge, you know, because if it's a challenge, then okay, that's absolutely fine. But if they are impenetrable and completely unbeatable in combat, then obviously that's just going to be, well, kind of a grind and a little bit annoying, you know. So that's kind of the thing that I was a little bit worried about. Anyway, we're going to be taking all these guys, actually not all these guys, just one guy, because I actually forgot that this was the siege and not the actual field battle that we just did. And I will be taking all these troops because I have the space. Why not, right? Why not? And let's have a look here. Do I have any upgrades? Yes, indeed. Look at that. Zandina finally has better arms as well, by the way. She seems to have eaten some spinach or something to fix that problem. Or, you know, gotten some calcium supplements or something like that. Anyway, there we are. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to show mercy. Wait a minute. Is Kadisha dead? No, I think she just wasn't in this particular fight. No, she wasn't in that particular fight. Okay, fantastic. Whew, I was a little bit worried there for a second. I thought to myself, wait a minute, did we lose another companion that easily? And look at how much money I'm going to be getting from these prisoners. I have a huge amount of them, obviously. I have 358 of them, and I have 7 vassals in my prisoner's hold as well. So that obviously stands to reason, and that's the reason why it's going so well with the amount of money that we're going to be getting from this ransom broker. So I am going to be doing that straight away. I literally cannot say no to 107,000. I mean, who can say no to that, right? That's just way, way too much to say no to. And we're also going to be selling a whole bunch of our loot here too. There's nothing else that I really want to go for. 123,000 that we're going to be getting for this. And I should probably take a look at my food situation as well. I would like to get rid of some of my grain because I don't see the point in carrying around so much of it. And we're going to be carrying around more grapes, fish, butter, meat, cheese, olives, and beer. There we go. Sounds pretty good to me. And then I think we should be fine. I don't see a reason for me to do anything else, so I'm basically just going to stand here for a little bit of time. And then we'll see whether any retaliation comes in. Now, obviously, bear in mind, we are at war against multiple people. I'm going to continue giving fiefs to Regea at the moment. I am a little bit worried that someone is going to try and usurp the throne, but I suppose we'll see what happens when that actually does happen. Oh, there's a high risk of rebellion at Iakis. Why is that? Oh, it's because I didn't put a governor in there. I am an idiot. Okay, wait a minute. Can I actually, oh, I can't do anything about that. Can I actually, oh, I can't trade fiefs. Okay, I'm grinding my gears right now. I'm grinding my gears. That is actually really, really bad. Okay, you know what? I'm going to very quickly form a caravan. Zandina, yeah. I'm going to make Zandina the caravan owner for the moment. And we're going to get these two back into my army, actually. I'm going to get Drango. Yeah, dismiss from army and then speak to her straight away. I want you to... Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, let me... How do I tell her to leave? I think I can quite easily do that if I just literally go like so. And then I go over to my party screen and tell her to disband the party. I think that's probably what I have to do. There we have it. Yes, okay, disband party, and there we are. Okay, fantastic. So she's going to... Yes, join me. There we are. Fantastic. All right, so that is absolutely perfect. Now what we can do is we can form another caravan, and this is what I actually intended to do a long time ago, but I was a bit of an idiot, so I obviously did not do that. But what I wanted to do was actually get my trade skill to actually 300. I wanted to get it to 300, hilariously enough, and now I have left it so long that I don't think I'm actually going to even get there. Maybe I will be able to, but it's going to be highly unlikely. At least I think so. Anyway, I'm going to level up my smithing skill a little bit more, and we're going to go for some more cunning. And yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to head into Rotate real fast. I don't have any prisoners or anything like that. Oh, we actually do have a couple more companions here. Dashwal, hello there, sir. Yes, join me, because I am going to make yet another caravan. What do you bet all these caravans? No, I sent my wife away. Oh no. Okay, that's not good. Ira, where are you? There you are. Can I disband you, please? There we go. Disband party. Why did you go away? Oh no, that was terrible. Okay, there we go. Whew. Ah, that was close. That was very, very close. Okay, I did not want to do that. That's for sure. I really did not. Okay, so yes, let me actually just do this properly now. Dashwal will be the one that goes away and does all the caravan stuff. Thank you very much. And yeah, that was actually hilarious. Alright, so let's take a look at my party here real quick. We've got 34 upgrades to do as well. And I'm actually going to be getting rid of these Imperium armed traders. I don't see the point in keeping them at all. So we're just going to donate some troops to the garrison here. There they are. Armed traders, Azerite tribesmen, not going to be using any of those either. Caravan guards, I can get rid of those too. I just need to make sure that I have under 330 hired crossbowmen can also go. And I don't think I have any other spaces, but I have a huge amount of these. Do these guys actually level up? They don't. None of these level up. Are you serious right now? Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want you. Thank you very much. No offense. So yeah, anyway, there we go. Let's just wait here for some time now and see if there's any retaliation. I don't think there will be. We've basically just placed a huge amount of units in there. Oh, Zandina has been captured, of course. I mean, as you might expect, we did start some caravans in literal enemy territory, but I was kind of a bit desperate to get our trade skill up and running once again, and so I'm very much hoping that some of them, at least, will be able to survive. At least, hopefully, one of them. Maybe they won't, maybe they will. Anyway, it seems like we're actually doing super, super well against the Western Imperium right now, and you can see Cestadine Castle still has not been taken, which is, in my opinion, absolutely hilarious. We're now going to go over to Lagater. Yes, Lagater. I'm actually going to save because we had a bit of a crash in the previous episode. I'd like to make sure that we maintain our progress, because if we don't, well, then I'm going to have to go through it again like I did before this episode began. So, yes. Anyway, let's see what I can do here. 307. They only have such small garrisons. What's actually going on with that? Super weird. Very, very weird. Okay, so, yeah, we have Ransom Broker. Yep, I will pay that for Zandina to be released. Thank you very much. And then I will send a messenger to her as soon as possible. And, yeah, she obviously cannot be talked to just yet, but hopefully soon enough. Alright. Oh, look at this. Turalazia has reached the age of 2, and she needs your guidance. Alright, so I'm going to tell her that she can now be a, let's see. She can be an accountant. Or she can be a, I don't know, a Hard Rock Cafe owner. Or something along those lines. Okay, so what do we actually want her to do? Because, I mean, look at all these stats. It's completely blank slate. Not entirely sure. I guess vigor is going to be the best thing. She, at the same time, she shows her mother's endurance. Cunning and control. Okay, that actually seems pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Okay, yeah, I still feel like the children's system and the way that the development of children actually works in the game. On the one hand, I think it's really good, because don't get me wrong, I think more customization and being able to foster your very own family, I think that's actually fantastic. I think that's super amazing. But the way that it's done at the moment, I think there just needs to be a little bit of refining. Maybe there's a mod out there that can actually do what I'm thinking of, but whatever the case, it's just really nice that they gave us the ability to do that anyway. 5% more movement speed bonus on deserts and dunes, or if your party is more than 75% infantry, you receive 50% less speed penalty in forests. I'm actually going to go for Desert Born because generally I want the movement speed on the desert, because no doubt we're going to be heading down to Azerai territory at some point in the future. Hopefully not that soon, because we've just come from there, basically. So it would be nice to, you know, be left alone a little bit by the Azerai, and they can just relax over there with all their sand. But yes, otherwise, let's see what we can do here. I am very much hoping we will be able to take this. I feel so much safer with the shield, by the way. I mean, I know, that seems pretty obvious, huh? That seems so incredibly obvious for me to say that. It's like, oh yes, you have a shield now that can block projectiles. Oh yes, that's pretty obvious that you're going to feel safer then, isn't it? But it's very true. It's very true, because I'm thinking about this. I mean, literally, I'm running around right now, and I'm thinking, oh, look at this. I'm holding my block button, and it's just blocking everything in a frontal cone to me, which is amazing, because that means I don't have to do it myself. You know, I don't have to dodge, I don't have to do anything. So it's so nice. So thank you very much for actually recommending that, because I personally thought to myself, well, you know, I'm gonna just stay with the one-handed, because it does give me some speed bonuses. It does give me some speed combat bonuses, and as far as I'm aware, it also gives me a little bit of extra damage, I think. But generally, the shield is just so useful. It really, really is. Anyway, I'm just going to continue trying to do maximum damage to the opponent here. I just literally want to inspire fear into them, basically. I want to make it so that these guys literally start running away just because we have killed so many units in quick succession. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. Because if we can do that, then we don't have to fight all of them, and then it's an even easier siege than it was to begin with. Ooh, this guy needs to die, if I can get him. Wow, this guy's an absolute beast. Yep, there we go. He got eliminated. Okay, fantastic. And there's actually an archer down there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump down there and get him. Oh, I love strong legs. Wow, literally, in real life, yeah, probably have fun doing that, because that's definitely going to result in some kind of injury, isn't it? Surely. I mean, maybe a stunt man or something like that would be able to do it, a stunt person, but generally, yes, I think you're probably going to strain something, or, you know, sprain your ankle or whatever, I don't know. Maybe if you roll, I don't know. I mean, think about this, look at this. I mean, it's definitely survivable, don't get me wrong, you know, you're not gonna suffer some kind of grievous wound or something, but jumping from that height is definitely gonna result in some kind of injury, unless you are trained in some way, I suppose. Possibly. I actually don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it would result in injury nevertheless. I mean, they do get pretty well paid as far as I'm aware, but there are some cases where they are not, and in which case that is obviously not okay. That's definitely not okay, you know, for people to put themselves in the line of fire almost daily, and for them to not get the appropriate compensation. I sound like a lawyer now for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. It's all that talk about accountancy. Yes, very good. I know they're not the same thing, but still. Alright. Seems like we're pretty good, though, because we are just about to finish this siege up. And you may think, oh, super speed mode. Ah, yes, I like it. Alright, so there we go. Ira actually advanced her one-handed skill, which is really nice. So she'll be able to pick a next level perk, which is going to be super cool for her. That will hopefully increase her damage even further. And we've got some really nice prisoners, actually. I saw a bunch of tier 7s there as well. Alright, I'm going to be declining this too. I know a bunch of people have said, oh, you take all the fiefs for yourself, you greedy so-and-so, and so on and so forth. I don't know why I did the old man voice there, but generally, yeah, I have not taken anything in quite some time now, and I literally just made a mistake. That's actually not a mistake. I don't know why these guys are actually attacking me right now. I think this is a huge error on their part, and I actually don't even mind it, because it will save me the time of actually running them down. I think, actually, if you think about how this has worked, because if you think about the fact that I had disorganized state, I assume that's the reason why the AI decided to attack me right there, because having a disorganized state does reduce my speed. And so, as a result of me having reduced speed, I would assume that the AI thinks to themselves, oh yes, that guy, is vulnerable right now. That fellow should be able to be caught by us and possibly killed. And so that's the reason why they went in, even though they have quite clearly a much weaker army than I have. Which is, in my opinion, a bit weird. But as I say, the AI is a little bit strange sometimes. But, you know, it's part of its charm. Oh, that was a nice headshot on Achios right there. And these guys... Oh, actually, I'm going to put them in shield wall real quick. And let's put these archers back here. Because I basically want to put them in shield wall. Look at this. Look at the shield wall. The shield wall is utterly impenetrable. And now charge. Boom. We're going to do them into a charge right here. And this is literally going to result in a massive amount of casualties for the enemy. I'm also going to try and harass the enemy's archery line. I mean, if you can call it an archery line. Some of them do have bows. But some of them also have slings. Imagine saying that I'm harassing their slinging line. What are they slinging? Mud? Insults? Any of the above, I suppose. Any of the above. Alright, I think we should be good, but let me just make sure that we take out the enemy's lords as well, because if we can eliminate them, then they are going to lose a huge amount of morale. Every single time okay, so here's a little tip for you. If the enemy lord is still alive, and this is obviously if you don't know this already, if the enemy lord is still alive while on the field of battle, you either need to deal so much damage that the enemy troops literally will not have any morale left, or you can eliminate their lord. You see? So if you eliminate the person that is currently leading their party, they will lose almost all courage and bravery, and they will decide to run away at that point. However, on the flip side of things, if the enemy lord is still alive, for the majority of the fight, the enemy will continue to battle you. Unless, and this is obviously, you know, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or unlesses and buts and so on and so forth, but generally, unless you have done a lot of damage in a short amount of time. For example, a stomp, you know, so if you're doing a massive army stomp where you are just so dramatically more powerful than the opponent, then of course you're going to get those kinds of attacks where you literally cannot be stopped, and you're going to eliminate the enemy really, really quickly anyway, and in which case you don't really need the morale damage. But in those cases where you have an even fight, and maybe even are slightly outnumbered or outgunned by the opponent, always try to aim for the enemy lord, because that's going to make the most significant difference to the enemy's Oh no! Okay, that's really bad. That is really okay. What? Who killed her? Who killed her? I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna have to look through the footage when I edit this. I will have to look through the footage, and I will see who has killed our wife. Because whoever has killed our wife, I'm going to take all these people prisoner, by the way, for a very specific reason. I think you can probably tell what it's going to be. Do these guys actually level up into anything? Yeah, they do actually level up into some of these guys, but I don't really... okay, I'll take them, why not? Anyway, yeah. The very specific reason is... If I see that she's died from one of these named characters, I will be executing them immediately. Oh yes. Okay, let me just eliminate this guy. There we go. We can take him prisoner as well. Wow, that's a shock and a half, isn't it? That is indeed a shock and a half. All right, well, I think on that very melancholic note, we're going to be ending this episode off here. And I will then, yeah, as I say, I'll look through the footage and see exactly who eliminated her. If it was just a regular unit, of course, I'll just ransom these guys off, and that will be that. But if she was eliminated by someone named, then of course I will be doing my utmost to make them pay. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.